Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, a little GCW action here from last night. The IWS, International Wrestling Syndicate, versus Game Changer Wrestling UnFnSanctioned show. We had two kickoff matches of this show. We had an 8-man tag. We had Team GCW Alec Price, Karl, Radrick, the Ratty Daddy, Dyln, McKay, and Shayne Mercer going up against Team IWS, Alec, Dynamite, JT Producer, Karl, Jepson, and Shayne, Hawke. Your typical pre-show match. This match didn't really do a lot for me, to be honest with you. I was about 2.5, 2 3/4 on it. Officially, as of 2 3/4. It was just there. It was 16 minutes long, so it was just kind of there. I mean, I was expecting more from it because it's based on who's in it, but hey, that's okay. It's a pre-show match. Next up, we had Hardbody and Jimmy Lloyd teaming up against Amazingly Sweet, Alex Mays, and Kristara. 2-minute match. I give this match a half a star. It wasn't hardly even worth watching. I'm sorry, but it wasn't. The idea of this match was just to get Jimmy fucking Lloyd on the card, which I hate when they do matches like that. But the main card. Holy snap. This thing was a banger from the start. We started off with the East-West Express. Jordan Oliver, Nick Wayne going up against Fresh Air, Junior Benito, and Macrae Martin. What a match this was. Two teams that can do some high flying. Two teams that go out there and put on that banger of a match. Great little 15-minute match to start the show. I give it a 3.5 star. Terrific match. Big fan of Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne, especially the team. First time I got to see Fresh Air, I was really impressed. I do want to look back on the IWS show earlier this year and see if I can find it on streaming somewhere. Definitely want to check out their product. And that's one thing I love about Game Changer Wrestling. When they do these crossover shows like they did with New South, what they did with VXS, it makes you want to go check out the product of the other company if you haven't already. New South, I do. But this IWS, I don't. So I do want to check out some of their stuff. Next up, we had the veteran, the Hall of Famer, LuFisto, going up against Sawyer. Two women that can get hardcore, and they did. Just amazing match here. LuFisto is an icon in independent professional wrestling, especially in death matches. But Sawyer losing to LuFisto, to me, wasn't really that big of a deal. I think it was kind of, she put on a great match with her. So I ended up giving this 3.5. Oh, sorry, 3 1/4. Next up, we had the tag team of TDT, I think they're called. Tabarnak Day Team. Mathieu, Saint. These names are hard to say. Mathieu, St-Jacques, and Thomas Dubois going up against Los Macizos, Ciclope, and Miedo Extremo. If you're a GCW fan, you know that Los Macizos is a violent tag team that brings in doors and tables and chairs and whatnot. That was one of the most fascinating things with this show, because normally in Game Changer Wrestling, to make a table, we take a door, 2 chairs, there's your table. Here we had actual tables, and the announcers even said that. We have actual tables in Canada. But this match was pretty good. I give it 3 star with the how do you pronounce that? Tabarnak Day Team getting the victory. Next up, we had, if this doesn't go down as the most comical match of the year, I'll be shocked. The Beer Bash match. Falco versus one called Manders. Yeah, it was basically a beer drinking contest. They had a match in it, and you had a keg that you get to beat your opponent with. Oh yeah, it was all over the place. You pour beer on your opponent. It was just fun. Falco actually got the victory in the match itself. I give it 2.5 because it was fun. It was a beer bash. Next up, things got a little real here. We had Gringo Loco going against Mike Bailey. Gringo Loco representing GCW and Mike Bailey representing IWS. Yeah, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be when I saw the card. Mike Bailey, Gringo, Loco. Okay. It's going to be a high-flying match. It's going to be some striking, which, we all know Mike Bailey is king of the strikers, and Gringo Loco, one of the top luchadors out there. Did not disappoint. Some of the high-flying stuff these guys can do. Mike Bailey getting the victory there. 3 3/4 star match. This was, for me, the match of the night. Next up, we had the IWS Women's Championship on the line. We had champion Melanie Havoc versus GCW's own Alec. For the match here, based on some of the other, every match had clutter. Every match had clusterfuck in it. Every match had doors and tables and blood and all that good jazz. Mismatched it out at this point either. Melanie Havoc retaining her IWS World Title, Women's Title. I give it 3 1/4. Next up, we the IWS World Heavyweight Title line. We had champion Benjamin Toll versus Tony Deppen. To be honest with you, this match was a letdown for me. I was expecting more out of this with Tony Deppen, and I've heard the name Benjamin Toll before. I was expecting a little bit more. Benjamin Toll retained his title. It was actually 2 minutes less than the women's match, and 5 minutes less than that Bailey Gringo match. But for 12 minutes, it was okay. I give it 2 3/4. And then we had our main event, Fans Bring Their Weapons. It was supposed to have been a tag team. Supposed to have been Mance Warner and Rina Yamashita versus the Green Phantom and Sexy Eddie. But there was a change. We had the one, the only, Nick fucking Gage show up. GCW, the god of this shit, show up. And then for IWS, we had PCP, Crazy Effin' Manny, show up. Made this a 6-man tag. There was enough tubes around ringside and on the stage to light up a Walmart, if not twice. There was every type of weapon you can think. We had baseball bats with tacks in them, so we had the wiffle ball bats full of tacks, multiple one of those. We had the tables, we had doors, we had chairs, we had everything. We had a pizza cutter. Of course, Nick Gage don't go anywhere without his pizza cutter. This was just a cluster. It was just so much plunder, so many tubes, so much glass, so much blood. And then we had one of the ultimate spots. We had a Mathieu Justice spot by Nick Gage and Crazy Effin' Manny. They go up on the balcony. We all know Mathieu Justice. When he sees a balcony, he will jump off of it. So there was 2 tables, possibly maybe more, set up down below. And you had Nick Gage and Crazy Manny going up through the crowd. They're fighting up in there. And you end up having Nick Gage launching Manny over the top of the balcony, and he goes down through the 2 tables. It was one of the craziest GCW spots. Mance Warner, Nick Gage, Rina Yamashita, who is the Ultraviolet champion, they put on, again, one hell of a banger of a match here. This was a fun, crazy card. And your winner was Team GCW here. I give it 3 1/2. Was it your catch-as-cat-scan style ultimate match? No. But was it one hell of a fun match? Oh, yes, it was. Oh, it was 2 oodles of fun. One of the best shows of the year, at least, for the crossovers. But it is IWS versus GCW UnFnSanctioned review. I know it happened last night, but I've been trying to get these up within a couple days. We have 2 more shows before the collective. Once those 2 shows happen, which is the 17th, Eye for an Eye in New York, and then we go back to Canada on the 19th for GCW Worst Behavior, and then the collective starts on the 30th. Before the collective, I may do a best of 2023 GCW. Just kind of where we're at this point, some of the best matches. We've had so many shows so far this year. So far this year, GCW has put on this is the 12th show of the year so far. So those will be 14 if you count the JCW. We're at what, 17? That includes the Jersey J Cup. So yeah, I mean that's a pretty good amount of shows in 3 months. So we'll do a best of. And then for the collectives, like I did last year, we have the WrestleMania shows. On Robert Sports Show there, we have the, let me go to that here real quick, playlist there. So if you're new to Robert Sports Show, welcome. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Please follow me on Twitter at Rob Sports Show. And if you look at the main page of Robert Sports Show, let me get there here real quick. And on Twitter, it's Robert Sports Show 007. Or I'm sorry, on YouTube, if you need to search for it, it's Robert Sports Show at Robert Sports Show 007. We have NASCAR stuff, NASCAR race previews, topics, champion profile, driver profile, countdown series. We have the Showcase of the Independents, which January I showcased 23 different independent companies, anywhere from GCW to Reality of Wrestling to On Point Wrestling, Northeast Wrestling, Glory Pro, Defy, Blitzkrieg, etc. I have an area for topics that I do, and then previews and reviews of GCW, AEW, WWE, Impact Wrestling, and then we have WrestleMania weekend shows. So every show that happened over WrestleMania weekend last year, all of the collective, all of WrestleCon, and then Mania, NXT, Ring of Honor, all that. All the reviews are going to be right there under the WrestleMania show playlist. I also have a CFL, XFL, USFL, college, football, and basketball, which March Madness. The selection show is tonight, so the first round, the playing games will be at probably tomorrow, and then NFL. That's what I do here in Robert Sports Show. So if you check out that WrestleMania weekend shows, I have everything on there from last year. We have Glory Pro, GCW, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, AAA invades WrestleCon, Joe Janela Spring Break. We have the Super Show from WrestleCon, Planet Death, New Japan Strong Lone Star, Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor, Impact Wrestling Metaverse Matches, Effie's Big Gate Brunch, NXT, both nights of WrestleMania, WrestleCon versus The World, LA Fights versus JCW, Spring Break 2. I mean, everything is there. I've reviewed every single show. Then I have a best of the collective and best of WrestleCon. So make sure you check those out before we get to the collective. Also, I'm going to try to get a best of the collective up before the collective starts. The collective's only been around since 2020, so I've watched them all. I just got to go through the spreadsheets and throw it together. So I might do that as well. Some of the best matches overall of the collective. But that is what's planned for Robert Sports Show in GCW land for now through the collective. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.